This is the South Atlantic Conference Baseball Tournament Championship. 8 teams. Five days. One champion. From Smokies Stadium in Tennessee, this is the SAC Baseball Tournament.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Smokies Stadium as we get set for first pitch in our final play-in game of this 2022 SAC Baseball Championships. It's great to have you with us for this broadcast as Carson-Newman, the number 7 seed, takes on 6-seeded Lincoln Memorial. Earlier today, how about the effort of Catawba? Down by 4, 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning. They tie the score in the 9th, and they walk it off on an errant pickoff throw in the bottom of the 10th inning, and that ends up winning that baseball game for the Indians. So we know that the winner of this ball game will take on the top-seeded and reigning national champion and conference tournament champion Wingate tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. See how this one shakes out as Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial square off for the 7th time ever in South Atlantic Conference tournament history. It's great to have you with us for this one. It's Patrick Queener, the all-conference selection, getting the baseball from his coach, and he gets an opportunity here to begin this ball game against Carson-Newman's lineup. Henry Jackson will lead it off, a .359 hitter. 5 homers, 35 driven in. Should have a terrific atmosphere here all day today. These two schools not too far away from here. Carson-Newman about a 20-minute drive. LMU on the other side, about an hour away. These teams have faced off 6 times. LMU leads 3-2 in the conference tournament. And the first pitch of the ball game is on the outside corner for strike 1 called. And we are underway here at 8:29. About an hour later than we should have gotten, but that's because of that extra inning and comeback win by Catawba. 1 strike pitch on the way, and it's a fastball that misses a little up in the zone to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. It's great to have you with us for this one. We'll be with you throughout the entire tournament as Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial face off tonight, and then we'll have our first triple header of the tournament tomorrow. The 1-1 pitch. Jackson fouls it back over towards our right-hand side. Game time temperature today is 67 degrees, and it's pretty clear overhead, and really no winds, just 1 to 2 miles per hour, at least at this point. So a great night for baseball here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Queener kicks the leg and pitches, and he drifts one down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Queener making his 4th career start against Carson-Newman, and he has been good in each of his first 3 starts, including a fine outing earlier this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count here to Jackson. Queener stretches and pitches, and he misses off the plate, down and away. Moves the count to 3-2. A really good atmosphere here. Carson-Newman fans really showing out well off to our right-hand side. LMU, a good contingent as well down the left field line. A payoff pitch here to Jackson. Check swing, breaking ball down and away. They ask for an appeal, and Jackson keeps the bat back in a leadoff base on balls to Henry Jackson, who battles back against Queener. So an excellent start for the Eagles. Defensively behind Queener in this one. Goda, Hall, Keene, left to right in the outfield. Harvey, Bowen, Hagen, Kerr, third to first, and Mast is behind the plate. Here comes Carson-Newman's lone position player that was an all-conference selection, Micah Gentris, 2nd-team pick. It's from the left-hand side. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back for strike 1. Well, the third baseman, Harvey, has already pulled in on the grass. Carson-Newman, the nation's leader in terms of sacrifice bunts. Micah Gentris right in that mix, as he always has been. A boatload of those in his career. No score, top of the first. Queener set, he pitches, and Genter fouls another ball straight back. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Queener, the team's ace, at least 5 innings of work other than his very first start of the year. Go back a couple weeks, he struck out 14 Limestone Saints. He can rack up the punch-outs with the best of them in this conference. Throw over to first, Jackson back safely. He has stolen 7 bases this year. This will be an interesting game in terms of the ground game. LMU leads the conference in stolen bases. Carson-Newman more opportunistic, but plenty of depth in that area. No balls, 2 strikes, and Genter watches a fastball up and away. 1-2. Well, in our first game today, Catawba didn't get their first hit until the 5th inning, and they fell behind 6-0. But they scored in each of their final 4 at-bats to get the victory. Throw over to first again. Jackson back with a headlong dive. Carson-Newman's been hot and cold in the stolen base categories. There's some games where they're ultra aggressive, others for stretches of games where they don't really run much. The 1-2. Genter skies it foul down the right field line. 1-2. And holding. When these two teams first squared off earlier this season, Lincoln Memorial walked off twice. In the third game, in which Carson-Newman came back to win, the Eagles needed a massive 7th inning to overturn that tally. Count continues to hold at a ball and 2 strikes here to Genter. Here's the pitch. Genter bounces it to first base. Opportunity here. Kurth spins, throws to second for 1. Back over to first base from Bowen. That is in time for a double play ball. Roll it up 3-6-3 on the twin killing, and that erases a leadoff walk. Well, Catawba grounded into 3 double plays in our first game here today. So sometimes the double play ball might not necessarily be the worst thing for a team, because Marcel didn't ground into any of them. And Catawba eventually got those big hits by putting enough pressure on the Lions. So with 2 outs and nobody on, here's Killian Daughtry in the first with no score. And a fastball zips high and away for ball 1. It's great to have you with us for this one. Carson-Newman, the number 7 seed. There's some history between these clubs, with Carson-Newman coming in ranked 7th in the league. The 1-0. Low and away, 2-0. Go back to the 2017 season. Carson-Newman was the number 7. Ran all the way to Championship Monday before they ran into Lincoln Memorial when the Splitters won that ball game and captured a league championship for the second time in 5 years over CN. 2-0. Daughtry lays off of a slider that hits the outside corner to make it 2-1. Well, the right fielder, Keene, is playing very shallow. The other outfielders playing pretty much straight away at routine depth. Infield back. 2 balls and a strike the pitch. On the outside corner with a fastball. 2-2. This is the play-in round. Winner gets Wingate tomorrow at 11. The loser goes home and watches the season come to an end. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on. Queener pitches, and Daughtry strikes out swinging. And that's how the opening frame comes to a close. So after the leadoff walk, the double play ball, and the strikeout. And after a half inning, it is Carson-Newman 0 and LMU coming to the plate for the first time today here on the Eagle Sports Network.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta 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 see this place.
You've gotta see this place.
You got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You gotta see this place.
Carson-Newman gets the leadoff man on base in the top of the first inning, but a double play ball and a strikeout ends that frame, and now here comes Lincoln Memorial stepping to the plate. One of the most potent offensive attacks in the league in terms of its ability to get on and run around the bases. One of the top stolen base artists in this entire country will go against the second-team all-conference pick in Matt Bradley. Bradley, a terrific season. He is undefeated this year, 7-0. As the right-hander twists, turns, and fires, and his first pitch is a swing and a foul ball by Chris Hall for strike one. Hall this year hitting .287, no homers and 21 driven in. And Bradley having a terrific season. He has gone 3 consecutive starts where he has not allowed a run as he pitches, and Hall takes a changeup down and away to even it up at a ball and a strike. Last time a team scored against Bradley, go back to April 2nd. A Dylan Shugan leadoff home run from Limestone. Hall rolls this one over to first base. It's picked up by Daughtry. He steps on the bag after 2 steps to his left. 1 up, 1 down in the opening frame for LMU. And now here comes the right-handed hitting Cameron Bowen, a .310 hitter this year, 4 homers, 33 driven in for the right-handed hitter. A fine night for baseball. The candles are lit here, illuminating the ballpark here just north of downtown Gatlinburg. Bradley's first pitch, well up and away on a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Infield shuffled around to the left-hand side. Gentzer playing over towards third base, and Carpenter playing closer to up the middle than routine second base. The 1-0. Hit in the air, lazily over towards second. Carpenter to his left is there to snare the sinking liner for the second out. Ball fluttered in the air, and Carpenter going onto the outfield grass, able to make the catch. 2 outs and nobody on. Defensively behind Bradley for this one, it's Ricketts, Griffin, Jackson left to right in the outfield. Bose, Genter, Carpenter, Daughtry third to first. Matt Parkinson, the nod behind the plate. Here's Carson Bowles, the team's designated hitter, to climb into the box. 2 outs, nobody on, and the first pitch from Bradley misses down and away for ball 1. Bowles hitting .297 on the season, 31 driven in for the right-handed knocker. No score, bottom of the first. The 1-0. Hit sharply in the hole at short, backhanded by Genter. Scoops, throws over to first, and a really good throw from the all-conference shortstop to end the inning, and that is an efficient 7-pitch opening inning for Matt Bradley. Inning in the books, a good one brewing here at Smoky Stadium. Carson-Newman and LMU scoreless.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here.
And it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be.
If you aspire to inspire the world around you and others.
If you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here. Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
In a good old-fashioned Tennessee tussle, Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial both send the minimum to the dish in the opening frame. And now here in the second inning, it'll be the cleanup hitter, Harrison Travis, who's put together a fine close to his campaign. To lead off for Carson-Newman against Patrick Queener, who needed 16 pitches to escape the first. Travis, a .304 hitter, 8 homers, 41 driven in on the year. Queener stretches, he pitches, and he misses low and away for ball 1. Great close to the season for LMU. Despite losing the final series of the year to LR, they finished the year 14-5 in the last 19 games of the season. The 1-0, low and away, 2-0. 2 of those wins came over top 20 teams, including a win over 7th-ranked Trevecca in that stretch. Carson-Newman, conversely, they won 3 of the final conference regular season series of the year. 2 balls and no strikes. Queener delivers. Travis skies it off of first base. This one's twisting over towards the dugout, giving look and making a nice play right along the railing is the first baseman, Kurth, to retire Travis. Well, sometimes when you hit those pop-ups, they get a little bit of backspin, and Kurth had his left hip smooch the railing just as he was reaching up with both hands to make the catch. And it's the first out of the second. So with nobody aboard, here comes Andrew Carpenter. Carpenter had a great series against LMU when these teams first squared off. Had 6 hits and 12 at-bats. Queener kicks and fires, and he spins a breaking ball in the outside corner to get ahead. Strike 1. Queener peers down the barrel for the sign here. The team leader in pretty much every pitching category delivers. And Carpenter pops it up on the infield this time. Kurth, the first baseman, taking charge again into the left of the mound. He's there to put a squeeze on it. And just like that, 2 outs. And nobody on here in the second. Well, first time Queener faced off against Carson-Newman this year. 6 innings, 9 hits, but only gave up 2 runs in what turned out to be a 3-2 Lincoln Memorial victory. That was a game in which Carson-Newman led 1-0 through 6. LMU tied it in the 7th and then walked it off in the 9th on a Harvey RBI double. Right-hander pitches, and Bose watches a breaking ball stay high, 1-0. Queener outdueled Matt Coles in that one. Coles went 6 innings, and then Jake Wright gave up a couple runs in relief for the Eagles. Here's the pitch. Bose bounces it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike, no score, top of the second. Bose went 2 for 4 against Queener. Scored a run in that matchup. Eagles have made some shuffling around in their lineup here of late. Bose settling into the 6th slot in the lineup. Here's the 1-1. Right down Broadway with a slider. A ball and 2 strikes. Queener gets the baseball back. He steps on the third base side of the rubber with the right foot. Rests the glove on the left side of his chest near the S and splitters written across in script. And now the 1-2. Bounces up there low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. LMU rocking the Navy uniform tops today. The V-neck look. White lettering and numbering with the pinstripe pants. White with Navy pinstripes. Carson-Newman on the other side. The orange jerseys with blue and white lettering. Gray pants for the Eagles today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. No score in the second. Here's the pitch. And Bose shoots it foul off of first. And he'll hang around with a count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Awaiting is the reigning tournament champs. Wingate, 11 a.m. tomorrow, right here from Smoky Stadium. Hope you'll be with us for that one. Count holds here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of the best pitching staffs in the league. LMU, Queener pitches, and Bose pops it up. Shortstop slips and falls, so the third baseman, Harvey, has to run over towards the second base bag. And he's there to make the catches. His momentum carries him over towards the bag. And that ends the inning. So 1-2-3 frame from Queener. He's retired 5 straight. And LMU will head back to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless through an inning and a half here on the SAC Digital Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
As soon as you win the state championship, you start getting calls and emails and brochures sent to you from all these ring companies. We'd already talked for a long time that the first one we got here at BA, it was going to be the biggest thing we could find. Right? It was going to be the biggest ring we could get. You know, we wanted to make this a celebration for the community, right? For our administration, for our school, right? And then to honor the kids. It's a big deal anytime you win a state championship in any sport.
Well, two of the top 9 starting pitchers in the conference matching up to take on this play-in game. Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial. Splitters have won 3 consecutive postseason matchups against Carson-Newman. As Matt Bradley, after a 7-pitch, 1-2-3 first inning, comes back to work here in the second inning. Kurth, Mast, and Harvey due up for LMU with no score in the bottom of the second inning. Bradley works out of the full windup. Former all-tournament team selection in his career. Works out of the full windup as he kicks and fires, and there is a strike at the knees on the outside corner to get ahead at 0-1. That performance from Bradley came back in his freshman year. Back in 2018, he went the distance, logging a career-high 11 strikeouts against Anderson in an elimination game. He misses here, though. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's looking to duplicate that type of performance here this evening. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kurth, the pitch. Misses down and away again. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Kurth is red hot right now at the plate. Leads the team in batting average and homers. He has a long ball in 4 of his last 6 ball games. Here's the 2-1. On the outside corner of the fastball, 2-2. 4 straight multi-hit games, and he's hitting above 400 in April. So he has been this team's hottest hitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Kurth pulls it. Third base side. Diving effort. Bose pops to his feet. The third baseman over to first. In time for the out. What an excellent play by Zach Bose with a headlong dive to his left. Snared it. Needed all of that 6-foot-plus frame of his to make the play. Then was able to get to his feet quickly and make a good throw to first to retire Kurth. Fine defensive play there by Zach Bose. Now with 1 out and nobody on, here's Sam Mast. Had a great series against Carson-Newman earlier this season as Bradley starts him with a fastball that's popped up back behind second. Carpenter calling for it, and the second baseman in right center field, a couple steps onto the grass, makes the catch, and that retires Mast. 5 up, 5 down for Bradley. And now Caston Harvey went 5 for 10 with a home run against Carson-Newman in the first series this season. Will get his turn. And as I mentioned, he had that walk-off ground rule double in the 9th inning against Carson-Newman earlier this season. Right-hander pitches, and then the right-hand hitter slashes it foul off of first base. 1 strike and nothing. A really nice Carson-Newman crowd off to our right-hand side, and LMU filling up their sections as well. The 1 strike pitch on the inside corner. 2 strikes and nothing. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the second. Win or go home time. Bradley's ready to go with the 2-strike offering as he gets the sign and turns it loose. Misses down and away with a slider, 1-2. Bradley peers down to Parkinson to get the sign. Gets something he likes, and the 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Keep the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Carson-Newman's outfield shuffled slightly around to the right-hand side. A lot of space here in this ballpark. 400 to straightaway center, 370 to the alleys. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And another offering here is fouled again, directly back into the screen to keep it a ball and 2 strikes. Go 330 down the line and left, 320 down the line and right. Bradley looking to put away Harvey. And the 1-2 offering is fouled again into the screen. First base side this time around. Really good sequence working here between these two as Bradley has yet to find the pitch to put away. The LMU third baseman. Bradley resting his glove right in front of his midsection, the 1-2. Misses outside with the fastball, 2-2. Bradley started to walk back towards the dugout. Thought he might have had strike 3. Trying to will it into existence. Instead, he's ready with the break-even pitch now. Here's one into right field. Jackson over to his right a couple steps is there to make the catch. And that ends the inning. Great atmosphere, great start for both pitchers in this one. Scoreless through 2, Eagles and Splitters here on the SAC Digital Network.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Well, both pitchers have been nearly flawless in this one. Queener gave up a leadoff walk to begin the game, promptly saw his defense behind him turn a double play. Bradley's retired all 6 that he's seen. And it'll be the lower third in the Carson-Newman lineup here in the top of inning number 3. In a scoreless affair here in this play-in game of the Conference Baseball Championships. Matt Parkinson leads off. Queener works out of the stretch as he kicks the leg and fires, and he misses high and tight for ball 1. Well, if you're both clubs, you really like how your starters have taken flight right out of the gates. 28 pitches for Queener. The 1-0. Parkinson shoots it down the right field line, foul into the seats. Ball and a strike. Well, we saw it in game number 1 today. Starting pitching was critical for Mars Hill to build out a 6-0 lead. But the bullpen couldn't hold it, losing 7-6 in extras. The 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, down and away, and a check swing from Parkinson stays back to make it 2-1. Be an interesting matchup tomorrow with Newberry taking on Catawba. It's at 2:45 to see what the Indians have in the holster on the mound. The 2-1. Check swing from Parkinson. He does offer it this one, according to the first base umpire, to even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still looking for our first hit in this ball game for either side. Both pitchers have faced the minimum so far. Queener's ready with a break-even pitch. Here it is. Parkinson rolls it to third. Picked up by Harvey. Takes a jump step. Throws over to first. And it is just in time to get Parkinson. Kurth leaped off of the bag. And he was able to get that right foot back onto the white square just before Parkinson got there. And taking a look at the replays that we have offered up here, great work by our crew. Solidifies the fact that Kurth was able to get the foot back onto the bag. So that's now 6 straight retired by this right-hand hurler. And with 1 out and nobody on, here's Jordan Griffin. Griffin hitting .377 on the year. Queener's first pitch. Griffin hits it in the air down the right field line. Keen over towards the corner is there to make the catch. Well, both pitchers getting outs early in counts. And Queener 2 outs deep here into the third inning, looking for a second consecutive clean 1-2-3 inning. Gunnar Ricketts will step into the box. Ricketts was great against LMU to begin this year, 4 of 11. He drove in 5 of the team's runs that weekend. He's been all over the lineup, as have most of these Eagles this season. Now hitting in the 9 slot. And with no score in the third, 2 outs, nobody on. And the first pitch, Ricketts squares to bunt. He offers at it for strike 1. Well, he's got room down the third base line. Harvey is playing on the grass, but he's playing well off of the third base line. So if Ricketts can get one up that line, he's got a shot. 1 strike pitch, no sign of a bunt, instead of swing and miss. 0-2. Carson-Newman's playing in this play-in round for the 4th time in the last 5 years. The 0-2 on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. One of the top strikeout units in the nation. They average nearly 10.5 per 9 innings this year. That's the second one for Queener. He's fired in 3 consecutive scoreless innings. We go to the bottom of the third. We're still scoreless here in the play-in game between Carson-Newman and LMU.
Every student comes to Wingate with a story. I know I did. Our students come from all walks of life.
They come to us as young people with hopes and dreams of their own. They're looking to Wingate to become the best version of themselves, and that's what we do.
The effect that Wingate has on me is compounded by the effect I have on the world after I leave Wingate.
Because making a difference is fundamental
to what we are as a university
and who we are as people.
Well, if you came to the ballpark looking for good starting pitching, you're getting that right now. Matt Bradley, 21 pitches through 2 shutout innings so far. On the other side, Patrick Queener has faced the minimum through 3. And here in the bottom of the third inning, it'll be Keen, Hagen, and Goda due up for the Splitters here against Bradley, who has run his consecutive scoreless inning streak to 19 2/3 innings. As Andrew Keen, who went 1 for 10 against the Eagles earlier this season, will get his first trip to the dish. Scoreless here in the bottom of the third. Bradley's first offering of the frame is grounded foul off of third base for strike 1. Carson-Newman has shuffled all the way around to the left-hand side pretty much across the board. Bose is hugging the line. Infield shuffle to the left. Outfield as well. 1 strike pitch. Well off the plate, down and away on a fastball. 1-1. It's a beautiful ballpark here in Kodak, Tennessee, about 30 minutes away from Gatlinburg. The 1-1. Foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this is a fine venue. This is the 6th year in a row that we've been here inside of this ballpark enjoying the conference baseball tournament. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bradley pitches. Just missed outside. He hit his spot. Didn't get the call, though. Then with a fastball, Parkinson was set up, perhaps slightly off the plate. And the count evens at 2-2. Bradley already has the sign here from Parkinson. Takes a deep breath. Now brings it up there. And this one doesn't give much of a chance. Tries to get Keen to chase after it, and it bounces low and away. And that runs the string out now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff. Grounded to third. Bose does a nice job of stopping it. Throws to first in time for the out. That took a wicked hop on Bose. He went down to a knee at third base, It bounced. He popped up. It hit him in the chest, fell near his right foot. He used his bare hand, threw to first, and a really good play by Daughtry to keep his toe on the back corner of the bag as he leaned out towards right field to get the out. And with one out and nobody on, now Tucker Hagen. 7 up, 7 down for Bradley. And the second team all-conference pick pitches, and Hagen takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Hagen just 1 hit and 6 at-bats when these teams first met up earlier this season. It was right at the end of March. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hagen way out in front of it. Well, Bradley has had some good outings against LMU in his career. He's also had some outings that have been unlike what you would expect from the right-hander. No balls and 2 strikes. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. First punch out for Bradley. Blows the heater by him. So with 2 outs and nobody on, bottom of the third in a scoreless affair. Colin Goda, who had 4 hits and 11 at-bats against the Eagles this season, will get his trip to the dish against Bradley. Bradley faced LMU this season. It was an outing that was very uncharacteristic for his season as he pitches. And here's a cue ball shot towards first. It's picked up by Bradley. He's going to run it all the way to the first base bag himself. And a fitting way to retire the side in the third. 9 up, 9 down for Bradley. We're scoreless through the first third of this ball game. Is it Carson-Newman that strikes first? Jackson, Jenser, Daughtry due up against Queener, who's been dominant so far for LMU. Since walking the leadoff hitter, Patrick Queener has retired 8 in a row, and it will be Henry Jackson to lead off Carson-Newman's half of the 4th inning as we are scoreless in this play-in game. Wingate awaits the winner tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on the SAC Digital Network. Henry Jackson, he walked but was out on a double play ball in that first inning. He's the only hitter for either side that has been on base in this game. And with no score here in the 4th inning, is this the inning where the Eagles get some offense rolling, or does Queener continue his fine start? His first offering stays up and away on a fastball for ball 1. Well, when Carson-Newman and LMU played earlier this season, Henry Jackson was out of the lineup that weekend, getting back from an injury. The 1-0. Misses below the knees, 2-0. And he has certainly been a catalyst for Carson-Newman's offense throughout the year. The entire Carson-Newman outfield really has been. Terrific group out there. 2-0 pitch. Jackson flies it off of first base, giving chase Kurth. He's already made a catch over there, but this one's going to get back into the seats. And it's dropped by one of Carson-Newman's walk-ons. And Travis Tingle, the pitching coach for Carson-Newman, gives a thumbs down to one of those young men. I think 2 different players got their hands on it and both looked at each other and couldn't believe it. Instead, it's 2-1. Here's the pitch. on the outside corner with a breaking ball, 2-2. 40 pitches now for Patrick Queener. Jackson looking to ignite the fourth inning. Neither team with a hit so far. A break even. Jackson fouls it back to the screen. Keeps the count at 2-2. Lincoln Memorial, the home team, they finished 6th in the conference. Flirted with a top 4 until the final weekend of the year when LR took 2 out of 3 to end the regular season. Carson-Newman, meanwhile, is playing for its postseason life for the last month and a half. 2-2 pitch. Jackson lays off of a breaking ball down. Runs the count full at 3-2. This year, if you're Carson-Newman, you take a look at how you started the year. At one point, you were 3-7 in the conference. You ended the year 9-4. Got hot at the right time just to make it into the dance. Here's the payoff pitch. Jackson takes strike 3 called on a slider at the knees, down and away, and that is the third punch out for Queener, and he is frozen the last 2 hitters he's seen. Jackson thought it was a little low, but taking a look at the replay, pretty good pitch. Could certainly see the argument, perhaps, for that ball being a little down and away. But a pitcher right now that's pretty dialed in gets the call. 1 out, nobody on, no score in the fourth, and Micah Genter takes a fastball up and in for strike 1. Well, Queener this season, making his 13th start of the year, the 0-1 rather, misses up and away, 1-1. Finished second in the conference to the pitcher of the year, Brody McCullough, in strikeouts, 88 of them during the regular season. That was 16th in the country. The 1-1. Genter flies it off of third base. This one will get into the seats, back behind the LMU dugout. Queener fanned over a dozen per 9 innings. To put that into perspective of what McCullough did, McCullough struck out nearly 18 per 9 innings, and that led the conference. Queener really settling into one of the top slots in this league in the starting rotation, and it's been a good league this year for starting pitching. The 1-2. Genter flies another one foul. This one will get further deep into the seats along the third base line. Keeping the count at 1-2. That's what LMU really rode this year. Their pitching staff, they were 3rd in the conference in earned run average. Opponents failed to score more than 5 runs in 25 of the team's 44 games. And the count at 1-2 here to Genter, the pitch. He flicks the bat out there and hits a sinking liner out to second base. It's snared near the left shoulder of the second baseman, Hagen. So with 2 outs and nobody on here in the fourth, Killian Daughtry, a strikeout victim back in the first, will take his turn. Now, which of these starters blink first? Dominant, open to this game for both sides. And now here comes Daughtry. No score. Top of the fourth. Still looking for a first hit. The pitch. Daughtry fouls it off of first base. Out of play. 0-1. Last time Carson-Newman was the 7th seed in 2017. Needed a late rally to take down Coker 4-3. 1 strike and nothing here to Daughtry. The pitch hit in the air out to right field. Keene giving chase. He has plenty of room in front of the warning track as his back is towards home plate as he leans back, makes the catch, and ends the inning. 11 in a row retired by Queener. Does LMU get the bats rolling? Scoreless and hitless through 3.5 here on the SAC Digital Network. Matt Bradley has fired 31 pitches to get through the lineup the first time all the way through in clean fashion. 9 up, 9 down for the second-team all-conference right-hander. And now dealing with Chris Hall, who grounded out to first base. His only time up, the left-handed hitter will dig in. Well, we really haven't seen either side try to lay down a bunt either to try to get the pitcher off of their set. Let's see if Hall does that here. First pitch to him, no sign of it, and he takes a strike inside corner across the belt. Well, sometimes you do get that. You get a pitcher in a rocking chair, and perhaps you think about trying to drop one down, make them feel their position. The 0-1. Drifts off the plate away this time around to the left-hand hitter. All with great speed. Everybody in the top 3 in this lineup have it. The 1-1. Hits this one sharply, back to Bradley. Ricochets off of his glove, and Hall will beat it out as Genter was the one that eventually got to it. That'll be an infield single, and that'll end the string of 9 in a row retired by Matt Bradley. That's just kind of an unfortunate bounce there for Bradley. Nearly had his glove up in front of his chest in time, and it just ricocheted off the thumb region of the glove, and it pinged out back behind the mound, and nobody for Carson-Newman was going to get to that one. So now we start this chess match with the running game for LMU. Hall 15 of 20 in stolen base attempts this year. No score here in the bottom of the 4th. Bowen at the plate, no sign of a bunt, swings at the first pitch and hits a towering pop-up off of third. Bo's giving call, and the third baseman in foul ground makes the catch. 1 out. That doesn't even give Hall a chance to steal. This year, Carson-Newman's opponents have stolen 13 bases in just 29 attempts. So the efficiency levels aren't there, and for the most part, a lot of teams haven't even considered trying to run against them. Let's see if that changes at all with Hall over at first base. Here's Carson Bowles. No score in the 4th. Bradley has the sign and will step off and throw over to check on Hall. Lincoln Memorial, 7th in the country in stolen base attempts. They have at least 1 in 20 of the last 22. The pitch. Hit in the air, foul off of first base. 1 strike and nothing. 4 different players in this LMU lineup are in the top 10 in the league this year in stolen bases. We're scoreless so far here in the 4th inning. Right-hander is ready to go. He pitches. This one stays high this time around. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's see how Carson-Newman responds here defensively, looking for a double play ball, a team that has been solid defensively down the stretch of the season. Throw over to first base yet again. Carson-Newman has 6 double plays in the last 4 games of the year. And the Eagles haven't allowed a stolen base since April 15th. Bradley peers down the barrel for the sign. Right-hander checks first and pitches, and that misses down below the knees. 2-1. Well, I think right now this is what both teams would like to have. Get somebody on base, see what you can do once you get them out there, and see if that can get these pitchers a little off of their spot. The 2-1. Hit sharply out to short. Genter backhands. Throws to second for 1. Carpenter to first. That's a double play. 6, 4, 3. Roll it up for the Eagles. Both teams have rolled up twin killings. And we still have seen just the minimum for both sides through 4. Scoreless in this ball game as we step out for a break and head to the 5th here on the SAC Digital Network.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth...
It was Mr. Hines who made me want to become a teacher.
And then I said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap! And that's why we don't try this at home. Any questions?
He inspired me. But it was LMU that helped me turn that dream into a reality.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Top of the fifth inning here at Smokies Stadium, and we are scoreless so far. LMU got its first hit of the ball game, but a double play ball erases that in the bottom of the fourth. And now Harrison Travis leads off for Carson-Newman here in the fifth. Winner gets Wingate tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the double elimination as Queener's first pitch. Travis rips this deep left field down the line. It bangs against the grass and rolls into the corner. Picked up by the left fielder Goda. Hustling into second base is Harrison Travis. First hit of the day for the Eagles, and it's a leadoff double by Travis. The hot-hitting designated hitter continues to fire on all cylinders. Travis has been hitting it as well as anybody in this lineup of late. And a leadoff double here in the fifth gives Carson-Newman its first threat of the day. Travis in the last 2 months of the year hit north of 340, hit all 8 of his home runs and drove in 35 in his final 30 games of the year. As Andrew Carpenter stands in, and he looks at a first pitch curveball in the outside corner for strike one. So let's see what Carpenter is able to do here. Corner infield is in. They're thinking that perhaps a bunt might be on. 1 strike and nothing. Travis at second. No score in the fifth. The pitch. This is inside on a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Carpenter is yet to squeeze the bat handle at all, making it look like he might drop down a bunt. He has been resting it on the shoulders. 1-1. Swings here. Hits this one high in the air. Deep left field. Goda back to the fence. He reaches up with his back on the wall to make the catch. Travis tags from second. He slides in headlong into third base. And that gets Carson-Newman a runner at third base with less than 2 outs. Carpenter gave it a ride to deep left. Goda went all the way back to the fence, right in front of the porch to snare it. And Travis, a very good amount of base running right there, was able to tag and get all the way over to third. And now Lincoln Memorial bring its infield in. Does Carson-Newman come up with a big hit here? Zach Bowe has popped out to third, his only time up with the infield in, 1 out, top of the fifth, in a scoreless game in this play-in contest. He stands in the batter's box, and Queener's first pitch. Bowes rips this down the left field line, hooking just foul into the bullpen. For much of this season, Bowes was the team's leader in RBIs. Led the team with 10 home runs. No bigger of a moment right now than this one. Carson-Newman's fans have come alive. Runner at third, 1 out. The 0-1. Bowes stays off of a high fastball, 1-1. Well, in a game like this, that 1 run is so important with the way that these 2 pitchers are spinning it. Here's the 1-1. Hits the knees on the inside corner for a strike. 1-2. Each team with a hit. Pitchers have been dominant so far. Queener looking to buckle down. One of the best strikeout artists in the league. The 1-2. Misses low and away, and it bounces away from the catcher mast. Here comes Travis. Carson-Newman strikes first. A wild pitch brings in Travis. 1-0 Eagles. Well, on a 1-2 pitch, it bounces down and away, and Mast, who is resting on a knee, is unable to get his body out in time, and Carson-Newman manufactures it with Travis getting the double. And now the count's at 2-2. Base is empty, infield back. Here's Queener's pitch. High and tight, 3-2. Well, Carson-Newman gets on the scoreboard first here in the 5th inning. And now Bo's looking to reignite a little bit of a rally here in the 5th. Payoff pitch coming from Queener. Spins a slider off the plate away. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Queener. And Bo's now at first base for Matt Parkinson. Parkinson grounded to third, his only time up. Carson-Newman 1, Lincoln Memorial 0. Last time the Eagles beat LMU in the conference tournament, you have to go all the way back to 2013. That was on a championship Monday. The Eagles won game 1 of that day, 8-3, before losing 9-4 to give LMU the title. Parkinson at the plate, 1 out and 1 on. Queener is ready and pitching. Parkinson checks his swing, but it's a strike on the outside corner. Well, looks like LMU will start to get some activity down in the bullpen as well. Looks like David Bryan Ellison is the man that gets the call first from Coach Haywood. 1 strike and nothing. Here's the pitch. Right down Broadway with a fastball for a strike. Parkinson, I think perhaps a little frustrated with himself, the way that he flung that bat back down into his right cleat. Count is at 0-2. Carson-Newman's not a team that strikes out very frequently. Queener has 3 of them so far for the second best in the league. The 0-2. Parkinson rolls it through the left side of the infield. That's a base hit. Bose will stop at second base. Go to up with it. Carson-Newman's offense starting to find something here in the 5th. It's a good piece of hitting with 2 outs by Matt Parkinson. Got a pitch down and away, followed through with just the left hand, got enough of the barrel to it to slide it in the 6th hole. And with 1 out, 2 men on, Carson-Newman's top hitter for much of the season, Jordan Griffin, who was one of the best hitters in the country at the first month of the year, hit nearly 600, has cooled off since, but stands in with 2 men on. The first pitch to Griffin is on the inside corner for a strike. Griffin's a former preseason all-conference pick and had 8 home runs. One of his first years on campus. 1 strike pitch. Bounces well in front of the plate. Bose took a couple steps toward third, but gets back. A good block that time around by Mast. Just shows the trust that you have to have if you're Queener out there in Mast, even after giving up the run on the wild pitch, to still be able to throw pitches like that. Indeed, it is Ellison, the first man up in the bullpen for LMU. The 1-1. Griffin hits it high in the air back behind first. Kurth is calling for it. He steps into foul ground to make the catch. And that retires Griffin, and a huge out right there is the second out of the inning, keeps the runners at first and second. For Gunnar Ricketts. Ricketts was a strikeout victim back in the 3rd. Eagles have scored in this frame. The leadoff double from Travis. He wheels around the bases on a fly out and a wild pitch. A walk and a single have put him at first and second base, but now with 2 outs. 1-0 Carson-Newman looking to face off against the Bulldogs tomorrow at 11. First pitch to Ricketts, stays high on a fastball. 1-0. Thanks for tuning into this broadcast. Great to have you with us. Going to be a fun weekend, as it always is here in the SAC tournament. The 1-0. Ricketts flies it down the left field line. This one's slicing towards the bullpen and out of play. 1-1. Carson-Newman has used the play-in game to catapult to championship Monday twice in the last 5 years. 2017, a loss to LMU, and then last year, the last team without a loss before falling to both Wingate and Newberry. Throwback to second base. A little high, but Bowen snatches it out of the sky as Bose gets back. There always seems to be a team that gets a little bit of a rhythm in this play-in game. It's a good start from somebody and is able to utilize that into a nice run into Sunday. The 1-1 bounces up there, 2-1. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Wingate and the winner of this one. 2:45, second-seeded Newberry and fifth-seeded Catawba after that great comeback over Mars Hill. And the nightcap will be third-seeded Queens and fourth-seeded Lenore-Rhine. To wrap it up, Queens making its first ever appearance in the conference tournament. 2-1 on the outside corner of the fastball, 2-2. Carson-Newman 1, LMU nothing here in the fifth. The 2-2. Ricketts yanks it down the right field line, but just foul. Got a pretty good pitch to hit, and he put a pretty good piece of contact on it. And it landed a few feet foul down in the right field corner, banging off the warning track. Otherwise, probably would have scored a couple and would have given Ricketts a chance to turn on the Jets. 2 men on, 2 outs. Top of the fifth inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Queener comes set again. Here it is. Bounces it up there, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and that'll give these runners an opportunity to get a head start. Queener had faced the minimum entering the fifth. He's already given up 3 base runners and a couple hits in this inning. Runners will be off and rolling. Eagles on top 1-0 here in the top of the fifth inning of the SAC Championships. Payoff pitch from Queener on hold as he looks back Bose. Just in case Bose is getting a little frisky out there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs and 2 men on. Queener pitches. Ricketts flies it down the left field line. Lengthy run here for Goda into foul ground. He is there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. Really nice play by the left fielder to haul it in and end the frame. Carson-Newman, though, gets the game's first run. Harrison Travis, a double, moving to third on a flyout and scoring on a wild pitch. And the Eagles have a 1-0 advantage after 4.5 here on the SAC Digital Network.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Carson-Newman has the game's first run. Harrison Travis scoring on a wild pitch in the top of the fifth. And now Matt Bradley, who's faced the minimum through 4. Back to work here in the bottom of the fifth as Ryan Kurth leads off, and he swings at the first pitch. Hits it in the air, out to right. Jackson takes a few steps back, and the right fielder is there to make the catch, and that retires Kurth. Well, the only base runner to reach against Bradley was a leadoff single in the 4th, an infield single at that from Hall. He turned a double play ball. And with 1 out and nobody on, here comes Sam Mast, who popped to second base his only time up. Carson-Newman 1, Lincoln Memorial 0 here in the last of the 5th inning of our final play-in ball game of this tournament. And everything starts anew tomorrow as Bradley pitches, misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. Mast hit 2 home runs against Carson-Newman in the series this year as he swings and grounds this wide of third. Backhanded nearly by Genter. It slides off of his glove and into left field for a base hit. Mast has a knock. Second hit of the day for LMU. Went right past Bose and then went right past Genter as he tried to make a lunging effort at it. And with a 1-out base runner, Mast, 5 stolen bases. A good amount, but for this team, that doesn't even crack your top 7 or 8 players. Caston Harvey stands in as Bradley starts him with a slider that's hit down the right field line, slicing towards the corner, and it is just foul. Nearly stayed fair down in the right field corner, and it looked like it picked up a big block of dirt down in the corner and just wide of the chalk. We're getting another look at it, and it was definitely a good foot to 2 feet foul. Otherwise, perhaps was going to tie this ball game. Instead, it's just a loud strike 1 here from Harvey. Harvey a line out to right, his only time up, with Carson-Newman on top, 1-0. Here in the 5th inning. Bradley working out of the stretch. Right-hander gets the sign. Now he brings it up there. It's a swing and a miss. Late hack that time around from Harvey, and it's 0-2. Runner at first getting his lead. Bradley's 0-2. Stays high and away on a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bradley works out of the stretch. First base side of the rubber. Right-hander getting the sign here, and the 1-2. Grounded out towards second base. Carpenter circles around. He'll pick it up and take the out at first. Hustling down to second base goes Mast, first man to reach scoring position against Bradley in this ball game. But it now comes with 2 outs here in the 5th. And Andrew Keene will get his opportunity. A ground out to third, his only time up. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position representing the tying run. Carson-Newman 1, Lincoln Memorial 0. Big hole right side of the infield with Carpenter looking to keep Mast close at second base. Bradley comes set, he pitches. Swing and a miss. Good slider down and away that time around to get ahead at 0-1. Bradley is set. Checks second in the 0-1. Skips it across the dirt to even the count at a ball and a strike. Mast with solid speed on at second base. He represents the tying run in the 5th, the 1-1. Hit high in the air, left field. Ricketts giving chase over towards the wall, and this one just gets over the fence. out of play down in the corner. Well, there's a section of seats that go all the way down to the bullpen, and then there's a little cutout of the fence down there where there's a little bit of a berm, grassy area. That ball landed just foul. Beyond that, Ricketts would have had to make a heck of a catch, leaping into foul ground to try to get to it. Instead, it's 1-2 here to Keene. 1-0 Eagles here in the bottom of the fifth. Bradley working out of the stretch. Checking second. Here's the pitch. High with a fastball up around the letters. 2-2. Carson-Newman again shading Keene to pull it, leaving a good amount of real estate on the right side, both the outfield and infield. The 2-2. High and away again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. One of the rare moments in this game where Bradley has gone the distance in a count. On top of that, Bradley has been very, very good of late as he pitches, and he issues a walk down and away with a breaking ball. Walking Keene. Just the second walk that he has allowed in his last 4 starts for Bradley. Not something that happens very often against him at the tail end of his career, but that puts the go-ahead run on base. Just the 15th overall walk that he's given up this season. And the first base on balls that he's allowed since April 10th. And gone his last 2 starts without walking anybody. But he walks a batter with 2 outs. And now Tucker Hagan watches a pitch, miss high. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Bradley now at 53 pitches. This inning has had to be extended here for him, as he's trying to buckle down now. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 men on and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Popped back foul and out of play over our heads. 1-1. Each team with a pair of hits now. Carson-Newman the lone run so far in the game. Hagan a strikeout victim. The only punch out for Bradley so far. The 1-1. Check swing, roller back out towards second. Carpenter will shovel it. The short route to second base. And that ends the inning. So Bradley works around it. An excuse me swing from Hagan ends the frame. And Carson-Newman maintains the advantage. We're through 5 in the play-in game. Carson-Newman 1, LMU 0 here on the SAC Digital Network.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta see this place. You've gotta see this place.
You got to see this place.
You got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You've got to see this place.
You got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You gotta see this place.
Top of the order coming to the plate for Carson-Newman in the top of the 6th inning. Eagles have a 1-0 lead as Patrick Queener has been solid through 5 innings of work, but he gave up his first 2 hits and a walk in the 5th as Carson-Newman scored the game's first run. The last time Queener was back on the bump. Top of the order due up here for the Eagles with Henry Jackson leading off. A walk and a strikeout in his 2 trips. Queener's first pitch of the inning is a fastball that splits the plate in half for strike 1. Jackson leading off an inning for the 3rd time in this one. Led off the 1st, of course, led off the 4th, and now here the 6th as he watches a fastball drift up and away. Make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hand pitcher has the sign and the 1-1. Jackson hits this one in the air out to left. Goda tracks into the alleyway, and the left fielder is there, making the catch and retiring Jackson. Leadoff man retired for the 4th time rather in 6 innings. And now Micah Genter, who is hit into a double play and lined out towards second base. His 2 times up. 1-0. Carson-Newman, the 7 seed, on top of 6-seeded LMU here in the play-in round. Right-hand pitcher, set and firing. Genter rolls it back up the middle. Diving stop by the second baseman Hagen from his knees. Throws to first. That is in time. Terrific sprawling stop by the second baseman Hagen, robbing Genter of a base hit. That is a fine defensive play there. One of the best defensive units in the conference this season. Hagen with a long journey back up the middle, and from his knees throw a 1-hopper to get Genter at first. Great play by Hagen. Keeps Genter out of the box. And now here's Killian Daughtry. A strikeout and a flyout to right. 1-0 Eagles, and the first pitch to Daughtry misses low. Well, typically, Genter has been one of the Carson-Newman's leaders. He comes in riding the longest hitting streak of his career. The 1-0. Misses off the plate down and away, 2-0. Daughtry looking to kickstart a little 2-out magic. 2-0 pitch. Pulls this one to third. It'll be picked up by Harvey. Makes the long throw over to first, and that ends the inning. So a very clean and efficient 6th inning for Queener. Carson-Newman still with the upper hand. 1-0 ball game. Bottom of the 6th inning we go here on the SAC Digital Network.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Bottom of the 6th inning here in the SAC Baseball Championships. Game 2 of what could be as many as 13 here this weekend. Carson-Newman leading at 1-0. Matt Bradley didn't face the minimum for the first time in the game in the 5th. Comes back out for the 6th in the right-handed hitting. Colin Goda looks at ball 1 down and away from Bradley. Goda grounded out to Bradley, his only time up. Right-hander pitches the 1-0. Foul back off to the right-hand side towards the seats. 1-1. Bradley into his motion. Here's the 1-1. Popped up, right side, shallow right side of the infield, and now backing onto the grass is the second baseman, Andrew Carpenter, to make the catch. Well, it looked like for a second that ball was going to stay on the shallow portion of the infield, and then Carpenter took a couple steps back as he ran out towards the grass, and in front of the grass was there to make the catch over towards the first base line. So 1 up, 1 down. And now the leadoff man, Chris Hall, steps to the plate. He singled his last time up, an infield knock off of the body of Bradley. 1-0 Eagles, bottom of the 6th. Bradley pitches, and he misses with a fastball up and away for ball 1. Right-hander has the sign and pitches. Leaves one outside again, 2-0. Outfield shades him to hit it to the opposite field, the left-hand hitter, as he pitches. And there is a strike at the knees on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike here to Hall. Bradley kicks and fires. Misses low, 3-1. Bradley walked his first hitter in almost 3 weeks in the last inning, and now in a 3-1 hole as he pitches. Gets the outside corner here, and perhaps a generous call in Hall's eyes to run it full at 3-2. Use the fastball that time around. What does he spin up here on a payoff pitch? Here it is, the 3-2. Hall spins it foul. Good swing on that, a good follow through, but pushes it back over the netting. Carson-Newman 1, Lincoln Memorial 0. The top-seeded Wingate Bulldogs await tomorrow morning at 11. Here's the payoff. Hall bangs it into the ground, out towards second base, gobbled up by Carpenter. He throws out Hall, so a good bounce back there from Bradley after falling in a 3-1 hole. Gets the ground out, and there's 2 outs and nobody on. Now here in the bottom of the 6th, to bring Cameron Bowen to the plate. Bowen has popped to second and popped out to third base in his 2 trips. Bradley leading it 1-0 with his team in hand as he pitches and misses low and away. One ball and no strikes the count. Right-hander gets the sign and now pitches. Misses here. 2 balls and no strikes. Bradley gets the sign and now the 2-0. Bowen hits it out to short on a nice chest-high hop. Genter picks it up and throws out Bowen to end the inning. Another 1-2-3 frame from Bradley. We're through 6 complete here in the SAC play-in round. Carson-Newman leads 1-0 as we go to the 7th on the SAC Digital Network.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be.
If you aspire to inspire the world around you and others.
If you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Top of the 7th inning here at Smoky Stadium, and I think Patrick Queener's day is done. He came back out to get loose here in the 7th, and when he first got onto the mound, he was really trying to stretch out. And he threw a couple pitches, and after throwing a couple, he immediately looked into the dugout, and that drew the trainer out, who's currently working on his right arm, right around the elbow region, rubbing that up, and they're bringing out some water as well for Queener. The bullpen is starting to get loose as quickly as they possibly can. And, boy, that'd be really tough. The way that this game has gone, and how well Queener's pitched. He's thrown 80 in this game. He struck out 3 over 6 innings, giving up just the run on 2 hits. And now he's going to give it another go out there on the mound, trying to throw the baseball. First one didn't look bad. I would imagine, in his eyes, he wants to give it everything he's got. And why not? He still just does not look fully comfortable out there on the mound. And he's talking with the trainer. His coach, Justin Haywood, is out there as well. He's squeezing the baseball. And the trainer is rubbing up that right elbow. Really hard to tell. And Queener, I think Queener wants to give it everything he's got. I'm really not sure how much he has left. And the umpires haven't officially, said we got to make any change or anything like this. And now, in fact, LMU will have to make a change. So Queener comes back out, tries to warm up in the 7th, but cannot do it. Tough sign here from Smoky Stadium. Queener's day is done, and he turns it over to the bullpen. Carson-Newman leads 1-0. We'll give you a shout on who the new pitcher is when we return. New pitcher onto the rubber for LMU when we come back here on the SAC Digital Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
As soon as you win the state championship, you start getting calls and emails and brochures sent to you from all these ring companies. We'd already talked for a long time that the first one we got here at BA, it was going to be the biggest thing we could find. Right? It was going to be the biggest ring we could get. We wanted to make this a celebration for the community, right? For our administration, for our school, right? And then to honor the kids. It's a big deal anytime you win a state championship in any sport.
Well, Patrick Queener tried to give it everything that he could and just could not quite give it a shot here in the 7th inning. But still a fine outing. 6 innings, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, 2 hits, 2 walks, and he turns it over to one of the better relievers in the conference, David Bryan Ellison, 15th appearance of the year. He's 4-1 with a 1.35 earned run average this season. He has been dynamic out of the pen. He is the first man to come out for either side. Harrison Travis leads off for Carson-Newman in a 1-0 game, and Ellison promptly hits Travis with a fastball up and in. Well, Travis doubled and scored the game's only run back in the 5th. And here in the 7th inning, first pitch from Ellison rides high and tight, and that hits right near the left shoulder blade of Harrison Travis. So the leadoff man aboard. Ellison has given up just 1 run in April, but his last outing of March was against Carson-Newman. He walked 3 and gave up 2 runs in 2 innings and took the loss in a 10-6 Carson-Newman comeback win. Andrew Carpenter now stands in. First pitch to him. Misses low. 1-0. Carpenter, a pop out to first. A fly out in the 5th, but it was a good fly out because it went all the way to the wall in left field, and that allowed Travis to hustle to third base before he scored on a wild pitch. 1-0 Eagles here in the 7th. Ellison set. The 1-0. Down the middle with fastball for a strike. It's at 1-1. Well, it's been a really consistent overall season for Ellison. Strikeout numbers aren't through the roof like a lot of these other pitchers for LMU. 15th in the country in strikeouts per 9 innings. 1-1. High and away, 2-1. In fact, he only averages less than 7 strikeouts per 9 innings this year, but he's been good at limiting damage against him. Those 3 walks were nearly half of his season output for base on balls this year. The 6'4" right-hander coming set on the mound. The 2-1. Slider. Carpenter tried to check his swing and is able to do so. I thought perhaps he might have went around on that. But after an appeal, they say that he stayed back, and taking a look at the replay, looks like the right call. Looks like he was able to keep those hands in the barrel back. 3-1. 1-0 Carson-Newman on top in the 7th. Winner gets Wingate tomorrow at 11. Ellison pitches. Carpenter swings and misses on a fastball around the belt. Travis getting his lead off of first base as an attempt at a steal this year. Payoff pitch coming, though, from Ellison. Carpenter lines it, right field. That drops in for a base hit. Travis had to wait to make sure that Hagan wasn't going to catch it, so he stops at second base. A hit batter, a base hit, and Carson-Newman perhaps with a chance to add some insurance here in the 7th. So now here's Zach Bose. Pop up to third and a walk. Nobody out. Is this an opportunity where Carson-Newman tries to lay down a sacrifice? Corner infield is thinking that way. They are pulled in on the grass. Carson-Newman 1. Lincoln Memorial nothing. That was just the 3rd hit of the game for Carson-Newman. 5th between the 2 teams. Ellison will pitch. Bose will square to bunt. And he takes a strike on the outside corner as he brings it back. Well, now Tom Griffin is going to call time from the third base coach's box and head down to have a word here with Zach Bose. Carson-Newman led the country this year in sacrifice bunts. Despite having some good power and some good pop throughout the lineup, this team still plays very much like the old school clubs would. Get him on, get him over, get him in. And in a game like this, where Bradley has spun a gem out there on the mound, every additional run of run support carries so much weight. One strike and nothing to Bose. After the meeting adjourns, Ellison pitches, and Bose bounces it to third. Picked up by Harvey. Steps on the third base bag and throws to first for the double play. So Carpenter will get to second base, and that, just like that, stymies that rally thought. 5-3 twin killing. Second one of the game for LMU's defense. Well, that was perfectly placed if you're Harvey. Right on the grass, took a nice hop, and your momentum carried you just within one step of stepping on the bag. So with 2 outs and the runner at second, it's on Matt Parkinson, who singled his last time up to try to add some run support here in the 7th. 2 outs. Eagles on top, 1-0. Time called by Parkinson before Ellison can get set. Well, we saw it in game 1. Catawba had oodles of opportunities that were thwarted by double play balls that Mars Hill spun up 3 of them. Ellison now pitches, and Parkinson takes a slider at the knees outside corner for strike 1. Eventually, though, Catawba got the big hits, scoring in the 7th and the 8th to make it 6-2, and then 4 times in the 9th. And walking it off in one of the more obscure fashions in the 10th. 0-1. Fastball across the belt for a strike, 0-2. With a runner at third base and 1 out, rather than intentionally walk the bases loaded, they only walked 1 man, and then they threw over to first base, and the first baseman lost the ball in the sun, went past him, the runner scored from third, and that walked it off and ended Mars Hill's season. Oh, 2 pitch. Misses low and away. 1-2. It was just a gut-wrenching scene to watch what happened with Mars Hill, a team that was in cruise control much of the game, led 6-0 late in that ball game and just couldn't close it out. Led by 4 in the 9th and gave up 4 runs with 1 out. Postseason baseball. The 1-2. Low and away. 2-2. 7-6 was the final score in that one in 10 innings. Here we have another tight one. A 1-0 Carson-Newman advantage. Looking to snap a 3-game losing streak to LMU in the conference tournament. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ellison pitches. Parkinson flicks it into right center field, sinking and dropping for a base hit. Around the corner comes Carpenter. He hustles to the plate. There's the 2-out insurance from Matt Parkinson. And the Eagles lead it 2-0 in the 7th. Fine piece of hitting by Parkinson after falling behind 0-2. Works back to 2-2 and flicks a ball into right center to give Carson-Newman the lead. And with 2 outs and a runner at first, here's Jordan Griffin. Griffin is 0 for 2 on the day as Ellison pitches and he swings and misses. Well, what a difference time makes for Carson-Newman. When these teams first met up this year, Carson-Newman hit .244 with runners in scoring position and .207 with 2 outs in the series. But they come through big here in the 7th. 0-1. Griffin rolls one slowly to third. Tough play here for Harvey. Picks, throws over to first, and gets Griffin by a step. Very nice play by Harvey against the speedy Griffin. But Carson-Newman adds the insurance. It is now a 2-0 Carson-Newman lead at stretch time. Does LMU have some offense in their back pocket? We find out when we come back. Carson-Newman leads 2-0 here on the SAC Digital Network.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us
and for college sports.
NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Carson-Newman gets insurance on the 2-out RBI single from Matt Parkinson in the top of the 7th inning. Matt Bradley back to work. 68 pitches so far in the game for Bradley. He faces 3, 4, and 5 in the LMU lineup here in the last of the 7th. Carson Bowles leads off. A couple ground outs to short today as the first pitch from Bradley of the inning misses low and away. Eagles have started to get action loose in the bullpen for the first time today. Ryan Smithson throwing, Jake Wright hovering. 1-0. In at the knees for a strike. 1-1. Well, Bradley was the team's 7-inning starter this year, so didn't always go deep into the contest. The 1-1. There's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. At least in terms of volume of pitches. Had a complete game shutout against Lenore Ryan in his final home start of his career. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gets Bowles to chase a pitch out of the zone, down and away. Just the second punch out for Bradley. He has certainly used his defense behind him. So with 1 out and nobody on, here's Ryan Kurth. He's grounded to short and flown to right with Carson-Newman leading 2-0. Bradley ready to operate here out of the windup in a 2-0 ball game. Bradley kicks the leg and pitches, and that is off the outer half for ball 1. Looking at it right now, the most pitches that Bradley has thrown in a game officially is 87. He did it twice. Kurth fouls the 1-0 back. Through 87 at Tusculum, Carson-Newman pulled him in that game with the team on top. And then they eventually lost that in walk-off fashion. And he also threw 87 against Charleston on February 19th. The 1-1. Line drive, rocket to left, and that's going to bounce in front of Ricketts, who didn't get a very good jump at it at all as it was hit right to him. And you watch that ball fall in front of him. 3rd hit of the game against Bradley. Out single from Kurth, who continues his hot hitting down the stretch of the year. And the tying run comes to the plate with Mast, who hit 2 home runs against Carson-Newman earlier this season. In the box, 2-0, Carson-Newman on top, bottom of the 7th. Ready against right-hand batter, the pitch stays high on a fastball. Kurth has 5 stolen bases. Everybody in this lineup, 1 through 9, has at least 4. So you know that there are guys in this lineup that can take off at any given moment. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. That was pitch number 77 for Bradley. Great crowd here in attendance. Temperatures dipping into the low 60s. Both teams have action in the bullpen. Seasons on the line for these clubs. Bradley is set. He pitches. That misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike. The bullpen's getting heated up now quickly for Carson-Newman. Both Jake Wright and Ryan Smithson are on the mounds throwing. 2 balls and a strike. Bradley pitches. Leaves one up and off the plate, and it's now 3-1. Well, you certainly have seen here of late from Bradley. Nibbling a little bit off the outer edges. And he's in a 3-1 hole to Sam Mast. The right-hander pitches, and it's fouled straight back. And Mast frustrated with himself. He thought he had a juicy pitch to hit. Barely flung it off of the barrel. Flicking it backwards. Runs the count full at 3-2. Does Kurth take off here? Does LMU get a little aggressive on the base paths? 7th in the country in steals this season. Runner doesn't go. Payoff pitch. Misses outside, ball 4. Bradley can't believe it. Went with a fastball and issues his second walk. So after he hadn't given up one in 18 days, that is the second walk that he has given up here in the last 3 innings. And Coach Tom Griffin is out of the dugout. That's 81 pitches for Bradley. Now I wonder right now, does Coach Griffin give Bradley an option? You go back to that Tusculum game, Carson-Newman clung to a narrow lead. Carson-Newman took Bradley out, and the bullpen couldn't hold on. 6 1/3 shutout innings, 24 straight innings without a run allowed by Bradley. I would imagine that Smithson's ready to go. It doesn't take a lot for him to get heated up. And I would imagine the goal is for Carson-Newman, if Smithson came in, he'd close out this inning, and then Wright would get the 8th and 9th. But right now, Matt Bradley is staying in the game. Bradley thought that he had masked. Instead, after the leadoff punch-out, a base hit and a walk. The tying run at first. Carson-Newman leads 2-0 in the play-in round. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out. Righty on right-hand batter with Harvey at the plate. And the first pitch to him is a swing and a miss on a slider. Strike 1. Harvey today, a line out to right and a ground out to second. Well, double plays have been a key facet for both teams today. Is there one in the offing here? Bradley is set. The 0-1. Foul back towards the screen, first base side. 0-2. Well, both teams and every team that you'll see this weekend, this pitcher's just like Queener for LMU and Bradley for Carson-Newman. They want to have the ball, and they are able to bounce back. The 0-2 misses low and away. Tried to get Harvey to chase something well off the plate. Didn't do so. Smithson is ready in Carson-Newman's bullpen. Wright's continuing to get heated up as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Foul back again. Good fastball from Bradley and a better cut right there by Harvey. Good battle going here. The 1-2. Fouled straight back again. It keeps going into this panel of netting that's just to the Carson-Newman's dugout side of the plates. Bradley looking to put him away. Harvey getting his timing down. The 1-2. High and tight with a fastball. Bradley had been toying outside. That's where Parkinson wanted it, but he left it in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Carson-Newman clings to a 2-run lead. Bradley has the sign. He pitches. And it's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Nothing bigger right there from Bradley than that punch out of Harvey. Slider off the plate away, and he gets Harvey to chase it. Huge punch out for Bradley. So now at 2 outs and 2 on. Here's Andrew Keene. He's grounded out. He's walked. Tying run at first. Runner at second base. 2-0 Eagles. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. The pitch. High with a fastball. 89 pitches now on the day. Bradley going over his season high. The 1-0. Hit high in the air, right field. Jackson with a long run, still going over towards the line, in foul ground, near the bullpen, makes the catch, And that ends the inning. Well, Bradley wanted the baseball. He stays out there. He takes care of business. LMU strands 2 in the 7th, and Carson-Newman continues to lead. We're through 7 in the play-in game. Eagles 2, Splitters nothing here on the SAC Digital Network.
Every student comes to Wingate with a story. I know I did. Our students come from all walks of life.
They come to us as young people with hopes and dreams of their own. They're looking to Wingate to become the best version of themselves, and that's what we do.
The effect that Wingate has on me is compounded by the effect I have on the world after I leave Wingate.
Because making a difference is fundamental
to what we are as a university
and who we are as people.
One of the top strikeout artists in this Lincoln Memorial bullpen, Kevin Norton, is on in relief for the 18th time this year. 38 punch-outs in 24 1/3 innings pitched. He has a 1.85 ERA with a 6'1", 198-pound senior right-hander out of McDonough, Georgia. Top of the 8th inning, Carson-Newman leads 2-0. Gunnar Ricketts to lead off. 0 for 2 in the ball game, as Norton is the third pitcher of the day for LMU. Right-hander tosses, and Ricketts lays off of a high heater for ball 1. It's David Bryan Ellison, an inning, an earned run on 2 hits. Queener starts it. Ellison goes next, and now Norton. Right-hander ready, the 1-0. Ricketts hits it in the air out to left. Starting slow was Goda. He had to go down to a knee to try to gather himself, but he has plenty of time to hustle over to his right-hand side and make the catch in shallow left. I think he took a step back and maybe slipped a little bit. Gained his balance and made the catch. 1 out and nobody on. Henry Jackson will get his turn. Jackson has walked, struck out, and flown to left field. 2-0 Carson-Newman, top of the 8th. Norton stretches, and he kicks and fires. And Jackson splashes it down the right field line towards the Carson-Newman bullpen, and it hits one of the bleacher seats down there before the right fielder King can catch up to it. Carson-Newman has a couple catchers, a couple pitchers down there, and they all had to run out of the way. So that's strike 1 here to Jackson. Well, can Carson-Newman add a little bit of insurance here in the inning? Right-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. 1 strike and nothing. Norton shrugs and pitches, and Jackson hits another one foul. This one's back into the right, 0-2. LMU this season was 18-7 at home. Great at Lamar Hennon Field. 9-10 on the road, but that was mostly because of the hitters. Lineup hit 44 points less on the road than they did at home. Here's the 0-2. Low and away, bouncing off of the dirt. 1-2. Pitching has been the biggest strong suit for this club this season. And really, in a game like today, you give 4 hits and 2 runs, you feel good about yourselves. 1-2 is off the plate, 2-2. Any team in the postseason would sign up for the start that Queener had. 6 innings, 1 run. Another solid outing from the third-team all-conference pick. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Norton pitches. Jackson hits it down the right field line, but this one's again towards the bullpen, foul, to keep it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, we know that the number 1 ranked team in the country will be here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Is Carson-Newman the opponent, or is it Lincoln Memorial? In our triple header on a Friday afternoon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Norton pitches. High on a fastball. 3-2. This has been one of the signs for Carson-Newman in this one. They've had really quality at-bats. Even if they fall behind, they're able to work the count back in their favor. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Norton releases and stays high on a fastball. Ball 4 to Jackson. He walks for the second time of the game. So here comes Micah Genter. Genter became the 10th shortstop in program history to be an all-conference pick. Currently riding a career-long 12-game hitting streak. He's scored in 9 consecutive games. He's 0 for 3 today. Norton's first pitch to Genter is popped up off of third. This one should be playable. It's the catcher Mast making the play with a sliding Harvey, nearly ending up in LMU's dugout. So Genter is retired by the catcher in foul ground. Had a lot of foul outs in this game, and that was nearly a disaster. Harvey nearly barreled into Mast, and then almost ended up in the dugout near the steps. So with 2 outs and Jackson still at first base, here's Killian Daughtry. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Daughtry hits from the right side of the plate. Big hole right side of the infield, too. First pitch to him. On the outside corner at the belt for a strike with a fastball, 0-1. Well, Daughtry has spent a lot of his season pushing the ball to the opposite field. No balls and 1 strike. Norton checks on Jackson, who's back with a headlong dive. 7 steals this year in 10 attempts for Henry. It would make sense for him to perhaps take off here. They already have 2 outs. Maybe you get him started, get him into scoring position to add some insurance. The 0-1. Not running. It's a swing and miss. 0-2. Two nothing. Carson-Newman on top of the 8th. 2 outs. The 0-2. Daughtry fouls it back to the right-hand side. Ball ends up back in the seats. Count still holding at 0-2. Throw to first again. Checks on Jackson. Perhaps makes even more sense now for him to take off. Count is at no balls and 2 strikes. Could have your 3-hole batter. The way that Travis is swinging it in the on-deck circle, due up second in the next inning. 0-2, he's not running, and it misses down and away, and a ball in the dirt. He does take off, and he'll get to second base at the end of it all. Ball was in the dirt, and Jackson got a terrific read on it. And Mast just took off. Or Jackson, rather, took off, and Mast just couldn't keep it in front of him. They're ruling that a stolen base. I think it's more of a wild pitch. That gets him over to second. So now an RBI opportunity here for Daughtry. Counted a ball and 2 strikes. Carson-Newman leading 2-0 in the 8th. Here's the pitch. That bounces in the dirt, goes all the way to the backstop. Jackson's chugging around third, and he slams on the brakes at the last second. No question about that one being a wild pitch. 2-2 the count now. Well, once again, Mast is on his right knee. Left leg sort of spread out to his left. And on a ball that eludes him to his right-hand side, he's unable to get his body in front of it. That's how Travis scored the game's first run in the 5th. So, with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Daughtry, a couple balls in the dirt that Jackson has taken advantage of. And he is now 90 feet away from perhaps adding a little insurance. Carson-Newman 2, Lincoln Memorial 0, top of the 8th. Norton set again. Right-hander pitches. Daughtry hits it high in the air off of first. This one will get back into the seats, about 6 or 7 rows up, to hold the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lengthy at bat here with Daughtry. Spoiling pitches, wild pitches have certainly extended this sequence. Stress mounting. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner at third. Norton turns it loose. Daughtry lays off of a breaking ball down and away, and it's 3-2. This time, Mast was able to get his body out to it. And the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. High class at bat here from Daughtry. Lengthy sequence working right now. Runner at third base and Carson-Newman ahead 2-0. Here's the pitch. Down and away, ball 4. Second walk to the last 3 batters, and the Eagles have him at the corners with a hot-hitting Harrison Travis coming to the plate. Runners at the corners, 2 outs, top of the 8th, and Travis, who has doubled and been hit by a pitch, also fouled out. He's 1 for 2. Runs scored in this game. Carson-Newman 2, LMU 0. Norton against Travis. Right-hander has the sun. Brings it up there. And that hits Travis again. Hit him in the left shoulder. And the bases are loaded. This is very uncharacteristic out of this Lincoln Memorial side. Giving up this many free passes. 4 walks, 2 hit batters. And the bases are loaded without a hit, and time is called, and Lincoln Memorial will use this as an opportunity to try to reset Norton. Garrett Lavorne is heading out to the mound to have a conversation, taking that long, slow stroll out there. Well, Norton came in. He threw 8 pitches to Daughtry. Got a fly out by Ricketts. Then he walked Jackson after Jackson was able to battle back. Jackson fell in an 0-2 hole. Eventually worked the walk. Spoiled a couple pitches after the original 0-2 hole. Well, Carson-Newman senses that this is perhaps an opportunity to grab this game and take a full, firm grasp of it. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Carpenter is 1 for 3 today. Singled his last time up and scored in the 7th. Norton stretches, he pitches, and Carpenter takes high around the letters for ball 1. Carpenter was great against LMU earlier this year, 6 hits in the 3-game series. Does he have a second one of this game in as many innings? Bases loaded and 2 outs. The 1-0. High and tight again. 2 balls and no strikes. Just 9 of the 21 pitches for Norton have been in the zone. And this is a right-hander that has walked a grand total of 10 batters all year entering this game. 2 this inning, plus a hit batter. 2-0 pitch. High and tight again. 3 balls and no strikes. The postseason pressure mounting for both teams. Norton has walked 2 in each of his last 2 outings. In fact, half of his walks have come in the last 2 weeks. Perhaps showing some signs. Hasn't given up a run since April 1st as he pitches. Gets one on the inside corner for a strike. In fact, in his last 4 outings, he's only given up 2 hits. The last run that he gave up was against Catawba in an 8-5 loss. He took the loss, giving up 3 runs in that game. 3-1. Here it is. Carpenter takes another fastball right down Broadway, 3-2. Norton came at Carpenter back to that. Norton hasn't given up a run away from Harrogate this season. The bases are loaded and 2 outs, and they'll all be off and rolling here in a 2-0 game of the 8th. A 3-2 payoff offering. Carpenter fouls it back to the right-hand side into the seats. Carson-Newman is 1 hit away from gaining some much-needed breathing space. High-pressure pitches for both sides. Runners will be off and rolling again. Travis from first, Daughtry from second, Jackson from third. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Norton gets it by Carpenter to end the inning. So the Eagles strand the bases loaded in the 8th. And we've played 7.5. Carson-Newman's lead is still 2-0. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Hagan, Goda, Hall, due up for LMU, looking to make a comeback when we return on the SAC Digital Network. In a game filled with emotions, back and forth we go. Carson-Newman had the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 8th. Strikeout of Carpenter ends the inning. And now here in the bottom of the 8th, it's Tucker Hagen against Matt Bradley. Back to work in the first pitch. And the second-team All-League pick misses outside on his 91st offering of the day. Bradley works here out of the full windup. The 1-0. Gets it on the outside corner at the knees to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Hagen today has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. That's when runners were at first and second base and 2 outs in the 5th. Right-hander kicks the leg and pitches, and that drops out of the zone, low and away again. 2 balls and a strike. Carson-Newman has the bullpen active and ready. Right-hander pitches. There's a fastball. Outside corner, 2-2. I'm trying to figure out the last time that Bradley threw this many pitches in a game. The 2-2. Low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. To answer that question, it was his final 2 outings of 2021. He threw 102 pitches against Coker and Tusculum in the conference tournament. 3-2 pitch coming here to Hagen. Grounded back up the middle. It hits off the backside of Bradley. Bo's bare hands and will not have a play. And that'll be an infield single. And that is the second time today that an LMU hitter has singled off of the body of Bradley. So half of the team's hits have hit Bradley, and he is going to need a second to gather himself here. That ball came back and hit him sharply. Let's see where it got him. It got him just below the right side of his gluteus maximus. And the coaching staff and the trainer out there to meet with him. So I wonder, regardless of this situation, do you take him out and go to the bullpen? You're probably trending in that direction regardless. With how things have played out here, we already saw Queener have to leave the game with an injury after he tried to battle it out to start the 7th. And Bradley indeed will stay in the ballgame. So at 96 pitches, he's staying out there. And he's going to get a couple warm-up tosses here from the umpire. In fact, he only takes 1, so he's ready to go. And Colin Goda will get his turn. A ground out and a pop out to second base in this game. So with the leadoff man on base, LMU down by a pair. Let's see what happens here. Right-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. The first offering. Bounced in the hole, wide of short. Picked up by Genter. He throws all the way over to first, and a nice lean by Daughtry to snare it and get the out. The runner does move to second base, but it's the first out of the inning. That was a really tough play. Bose was pulled over towards the third base line and on the grass. It was going to be a nearly impossible play for him to even consider getting to. And Gentoo covers so much ground, is able to circle around it near the infield grass and make the play. So with 1 out, runner in scoring position, here's Chris Hall, 1 of 3 on the day. 2-0 Eagles, bottom of the 8th. Right-hander is set. Checking second and pitching. Hit sharply, back up the middle, into center field, a base hit, and that'll bring in LMU's first run of the day. Around third and in to score is Hagen, and that makes it a 1-run game here in the 8th. Hall's second hit of the day. Makes it 2-1. First run Bradley has allowed since April 2nd. Snaps a string of 25 consecutive innings. without a run allowed. It had been 17 2/3. And it had been entering tonight. He goes 7 1/3 here before he gives up the first run of the day, and that slices the margin in half. And here comes Tom Griffin out of the dugout, running out to the mound. The first visit that he went out there was an injury-related issue. I think that this is going to be the end of the line for Bradley in this game here at 98 pitches, a season high. Eagles will turn it loose to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new pitcher. Eagles on top, 2-1. LMU on the comeback trail, 1 out here in the 8th. Matt Bradley grinds through 7 1/3 innings of baseball. 98 pitches, a season high. Gives up his first run in almost a month in this one. And now he turns it over to the bullpen and Jake Wright. Wright is on in relief. He's been the team's closer throughout this season. And now he takes over on the rubber for the Eagles in this ball game with a tying run, standing at first base and 1 out. Wright this season is making his 19th appearance. He has 5 saves. He struck out 50 in 28 2/3. He faces off against Cameron Bowen. Bowen's 0 for 3 on the day as Wright's first pitch misses low and away for ball 1. Wright, the sophomore out of Ringgold, Georgia, is out there and pitching. Went 3 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts against Anderson in game 2 of that series last week. 2-1 Eagles here in the 8th. The pitch high and away on a fastball. 2-0. Well, walks really haven't been an issue for Wright all season long. He had a couple outings where he walked 3, but overall for the season, just 12 in 28 2/3. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch hit in the air, back behind us, out of play. 2-1. Well, Jake Wright looking to make amends for what happened earlier this season against LMU. He pitched game 1 of that series, gave up 2 runs in a 3-2 loss when LMU walked it off. That was his 2nd consecutive blown save. 2-1 pitch. Misses down on a curveball. 3-1. Couldn't entice Cameron Bowen. Well, we've already seen Catawba make a late comeback for a walk-off win. Is it LMU's turn to make a comeback? The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. Bowen right over the top of it. Two runs, 4 hits, six men left on base for Carson-Newman. A run, 5 hits, and 4 left aboard for LMU. Here comes the 3-2. Runner takes off. It's popped up, first base side, out of play. All got a really good jump. 15 steals on the season, and he got a terrific bounce off of the bag. Right, trying to lock this one down for Matt Bradley. Carson-Newman 2, LMU 1. Classic matchup in the bottom of the 8th. Hall not running this time. Now he is. Swing and a miss. Parkinson throw down to second is not in time. Well, Hall got a really late jump on that one, and eventually he took off. And it's a stolen base to get him into scoring position and a strikeout for Wright. Coach Tom Griffin calls for time. And I don't know if you might want to ask for a check of this one on whether or not Bowen rather was inside of the batter's box. And perhaps whether there should have been maybe some interference called on that. Or what the situation is on whether or not that happened. We do have the ability to review plays up here throughout this tournament. So we're getting another look at it up here in the booth. Definitely a swing and miss. And it definitely looks like Bowen stepped on the plate as Parkinson was throwing that ball down. So you potentially could have made that argument with Parkinson trying to throw down, but after a quick chat, nothing takes place. So the tying run at second base. 2-1 game, bottom of the 8th. Here's Carson Bowles. 0 for 3 on the day. Right back to work. Right-hander lifts the leg and pitches, and it's a swing and a miss on a high heater. Well, how big does that top of the 8th inning look for Carson-Newman when they had the bases loaded in 2 outs? And it was a 3-0 count to Carpenter. Norton battles back and gets the strikeout. 1 strike and nothing. Right pitches. Swing and a miss. 0-2. All right, has gone back-to-back fastballs. That is his favorite pitch. Does he mess around with a curveball, or does he spin up the fastball again? He fires the 2-strike pitch, and time was called by the hitter, and now both fan bases starting to let the umpires hear. Well, right through that pitch. Looked like a fastball. Do you change anything around here? Nothing in 2. Here it is again. Misses down and away this time around. 1-2. LMU was great in the first matchup this year. Hit 400 as a team with 2 outs. They have some more 2-out magic in this one. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Foul back. Keep the count on a ball and 2 strikes. A spot in the double elimination bracket on the line. Number 1 ranked in the country and number 1 seeded in the conference, Wingate, stands by awaiting. Jake Wright gets a new baseball. He also steps behind, grabs a rosin behind the mound. He looks back at Hall. Terrific speed. A base hit would tie the game here in the 8th. Wright gets the sign as he steps on the first base side of the rubber. And now he steps off and looks back Hall at second. Another 1-2 coming. Check swing, foul ball into the Carson-Newman dugout, first base side. Holding the count on a ball and 2 strikes. Really quality atmosphere here. 2 in-state teams dueling it out here at Smoky Stadium. Wright's ready. He releases the 1-2. Hit in the air off a first out of play to stay around. Good at bat here from Carson Bowles. Doing his due diligence in the box. Seeing a bunch of pitches. Bowles this year hit .310 with runners in scoring position. The 1-2. Foul back again as he refuses to go down. Bowles has been a heavy run producer, multi-RBIs in 4 games this month. Count continues to hold at a ball and 2 strikes. 2-1 Eagles in the 8th. The 1-2 again. Check swing, foul ball once more. And a wry smile from Jake Wright this time around as Bowles has had 2 check swings in which he's been able to extend at bats. Well, one of these teams is going to have to get up early and play the number 1 ranked team in the country tomorrow morning. But right now, both of these clubs dialed in. Eagles are 4 outs away from advancing. LMU is 1 hit away from tying it up and starting us new. Wright's ready. Kicks the leg and the 1-2 again. Hit in the air out to right field, right in the sights of Jackson. He makes the catch. Wright wins the lengthy battle, and that ends the inning. LMU gets a run back, though. It's a 2-1 game. We're going to the 9th. Eagles on top here in the SAC play-in round on the SAC Digital Network.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth...
It was Mr. Hines who made me want to become a teacher.
And then I said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap! And that's why we don't try this at home. Any questions?
He inspired me. But it was LMU that helped me turn that dream into a reality.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Another senior right-hander is on in relief for Lincoln Memorial. Bo Nichols, 5'11", 180, gets the call here in the 9th inning. 19th appearance of the season, a 3.12 ERA for one of the best pitching staffs in the league. They turn to their 4th pitcher of the day. LMU gets a run back in the 8th. Gets on the board on the RBI single from Chris Hall. Can Carson-Newman add some insurance to a 2-1 lead here in the 9th? Bose to lead it off. 0 for 2 with a walk on the day. And Nichols back on the slab against Carson-Newman as he kicks the leg and pitches. And he misses up in the zone this time around for ball 1. Nichols against Carson-Newman earlier this season worked 2 2/3 innings, gave up 3 unearned runs. And what turned out to be an 8-7 win. The 1-0. Curveball is in on the inside corner at the knees for a strike. 1-1. Nichols pitches a lot. Typically, he is out there with a great volume of frequency. 6 appearances this month. The 1-1 pitch. Bose stings it out towards right center field. Keene hustling over into the alleyway is there to make the catch. The right fielder got a good jump on the ball in right center to put a squeeze on. So with 1 out and nobody on, Matt Parkinson will get his turn. Parkinson's had a fine day. 2 for 3 at the plate, and his RBI single in the 7th inning right now is the difference in the ball game. So Parkinson, another multi-hit game, and he has upped his batting average to .328 on the year. First pitch from Nichols is on the outside corner with a breaking ball to get ahead at 0-1. It's been a dandy of a ball game between these clubs. Carson-Newman holds a 2-1 lead, having led throughout. These pitchers were dominant early. The 0-1. Parkinson flies it foul off of first into the seats. 0-2. In fact, these pitchers combined faced the minimum through the first 4. Bradley gave up 1 hit in the first 4, had a double play. Queener gave up 1 walk, got a double play through his first 4 innings. The 0-2. Strike 3 call, inside corner, good pitch. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th inning. And now Jordan Griffin will get his turn. He's 0 for 3. Carson-Newman opened the scoring in the 5th. The leadoff double from Travis, moved to third on a flyout, scored on a wild pitch. Eagles added to it in the 7th. They actually had the first 2 on base in the 7th, but a 5-3 twin killing was 2 outs and a runner at second before Parkinson delivered. And Hall just singled in the 8th to make it 2-1. Nichols' first pitch here to Griffin on the outside corner for a strike. If you're looking forward to the bottom of the 9th inning, LMU will have the heart of the lineup up. Kurth, Mast, Harvey will be the 3 coming to the plate. 1 strike and nothing to count the pitch. Griffin rolls it foul up the third baseline. 2 strikes and nothing. Well, Lincoln Memorial has walked it off against Carson-Newman twice this year. Do they have a 3rd one in them? Or can Carson-Newman hold them off? No balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. Rolled foul again. Third base side. Count holds it. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, Carson-Newman could certainly use an additional run, but they'll need to do it here with 2 outs. With that heart of that LMU lineup coming up. Nichols stares down the barrel for the sign. Right-handers ready, the 0-2. Griffin flies it foul off of first base. Count holds it, no balls and 2 strikes. Griffin rests the bat on his right shoulder. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Griffin pulls it foul down the third baseline to keep it at no balls and 2 strikes. Well, Carson-Newman's pitching staff, 128. Or no, check that. That is LMU's pitching staff, 128 pitches. Carson-Newman has thrown 114. Both teams have found the strike zone frequently. 2 strikes and nothing. Nichols pitches. On the outside corner, there's strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts. And the Eagles go quietly in the 9th. To the bottom of the ninth we go. We've already seen one walk-off. Can Carson-Newman hold off the splitters? Kurth, Mast, Harvey coming to the plate. Bottom of the ninth inning. Carson-Newman leads 2-1 here in the sack play-in game.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Defensive change for Carson-Newman. Ryan Potts takes over in left field here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Carson-Newman leads 2-1. And Jake Wright is back to work. 16 pitches to get out of the bottom of the eighth inning, as he will go to work here on Ryan Kurth. And the first pitch to Kurth stays up and away for ball one. Kurth today, 1 for 3. He's been the team's hottest hitter of late. Right ready, and he pitches, and he misses high on a fastball, 2-0. Well, high octane moments now. Right out there on the bump, looking to shut this thing down. Right-hander gets the sign, the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Two balls and a strike. Right coming set out there on the bump as he pitches. Stays high with a fastball, 3-1. Well, the last thing that you can afford to do is get the leadoff man aboard if you're Carson-Newman. And if you are LMU, that's exactly what you're trying to dial up. The 3-1. Misses low and away, ball 4. Well, Jake Wright, he was one of the two pitchers that gave up a Carson-Newman lead earlier this season. And he just tried to nibble on the outer half down and away and didn't get the call. Carson-Newman is getting some action going down in the bullpen. Ryan Smithson is starting to throw again. Matt Bradley is down there as well. He spun a gem. 7 1/3 dynamic innings on the mound. So let's see what LMU does here. Mast is coming to the plate. He's been aboard twice. A single and a walk in his 3 trips. 2-1, bottom of the ninth. The pitch. Misses outside with a fastball. Wright not getting some of these close calls, and the fans letting him hear it. Wright looking to settle in here. Trying to find the strike zone in a 1-0 hole. Pitching. Swing and a miss this time. Big cut by Mast. Makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at first base, Kurth. 5 stolen bases. Wright is ready. Checks first and pitches. Stays high on a fastball. Been a lot of fastballs in this inning. Well, he was Carson-Newman's closer. Eagles trying to ride him through and get to the double elimination bracket. Everything starts fresh tomorrow. But it's win or go home tonight. The 2-1. Swing and a miss again. Pitch down and away. Mast waves over the top of it. Outfield playing very deep here. No doubles defense for the Eagles. The 2-2. Foul back. Keeps the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, when you look back at the comeback from Catawba, they put the leadoff man on base in the 10th, and they walked it off on a double from Zach Miller. Came in to score on the failed pickoff attempt. The 2-2. Yanked down the left field line, hustling over Potts, coming on. He dives, cannot get it. That goes all the way to the fence, rounding third base. And now coming to the plate, Genter's relay throw to the plate. Parkinson catches. He's out at the plate. Kurth is thrown out at the dish. The Eagles got it in quickly. Genter threw a perfect dime to Parkinson. And he's out at the plate. No doubt LMU will probably ask for a replay here. They thought that Kurth slid underneath the tag. And the umpires are going to chat about this one. Micah Genter was way out in left field. And Potts, who just got put in the game. We're getting another look at it right now. Potts, playing that no doubles defense, nearly came up with a great diving catch. He was able to get to his feet, pick up the ball on the warning track. Genter turned it around, threw it to the plate, and the tag was certainly on target. It was in time, and from what we're looking at, it looks like he's out at the plate. So we will get a replay review here. The umpires will chat it over. Definitely looks like the throw beats him. Parkinson making the catch and slapping the tag on the left leg of Kurth. Well, what's big about this, too, here, at the end of all of this, Mass stayed at second base. He didn't try to get over to third, so it's going to take another hit to get the tying run in. We're looking at it once more. Parkinson, the catch, puts the tag on. Looks like it is on the back left thigh of Kurth. And Kurth is still a good foot to 2 feet away from the plate. The tag is made, and he still hasn't touched it, and now he finally does get in there and sneak it under. So we'll get one. The umpires will go through every look here to make sure that they get all the best, and this is just terrific work by our entire crew. The throw got to the plate just as Kurth was starting his slide. Parkinson caught the ball, used both hands to put the tag on the back of the body of Kurth, and the first base umpire was the one that actually made the call at the plate, and he is right on top of home plate. I mean, that was an unbelievable relay throw from the outfield by Micah Genter. The all-conference pick made just an unbelievably great throw to the dish. Umpires still chatting it over just to make sure that they see everything that they need to see. Parkinson making the catch and getting it on. So our first real replay review, our first game today, had a review asked for, but it was a not reviewable play. It was a ball that bounced up the first base line foul and then hit a little rock and rolled into fair ground. So the umpires have wrapped up their review. They're putting the headset back, writing down the necessary paperwork, and the play is confirmed. So masked doubles. Carson-Newman not out of the woods yet. It's a double down the line. Race Kurth to third, and then he is out. 7-6-2 at the plate. So with one out, And a runner in scoring position. Here's Caston Harvey. 0 for 3 today. Well, is that the play of the season for Carson-Newman? Put a star next to that moment. Is that the play of the year? That keeps Carson-Newman in the tournament. Or does Harvey eventually come through? Right, working out of the stretch as he pitches. It's a swing and a miss on a high heater. What a game here. Back and forth these last couple innings. Moments of unbelievable shifts of momentum as right misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. If this first day of the tournament is anything that we are going to see this weekend, boy, buckle up. Right's ready. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Harvey chases a fastball down. Looked pretty uncomfortable in doing so. 1-2. And these teams have just fired haymakers back and forth. And who's left standing at the end of the night? Emotions and adrenaline rushing. Runner at second base is the tying run with 1 out. 2-1, bottom of the 9th. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. LMU down to its final out. Wright gets the punch out. And in a 2-1 game in the bottom of the 9th inning, here comes Andrew Keene. 0 for 2 with a walk. Wright beats a fastball on the inside corner. I believe LMU is going to use a pinch runner. And indeed they will. They have Austin Cole taking over at second base. And Carson-Newman is going to issue an intentional walk as well to Keene, which is interesting. Considering Keene went 1 for 10 against Carson-Newman earlier this season and is 0 for 2 with a walk today, you put the winning run on base. That's interesting. Tucker Hagen is coming to the plate. Hagen today is 1 out of 3. He singled in the last inning and has scored LMU's lone run of the day. Carson-Newman 2, LMU 1. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, tying run at second, winning run at first. Catawba walked it off with 7 unanswered runs in game 1 tonight, winning on a errant pickoff throw in the bottom of the 10th. This game, both pitchers faced the minimum through 4 before Carson-Newman broke through in the 5th. Eagles added a run in the 7th, and Matt Bradley's string of 25 consecutive innings without a run allowed ended in the bottom of the 8th. Now Wright trying to dial this one down. The right-hander pitches, and Hagen lines it out towards center field. Griffin comes on and over. He's there to make the catch, and that wraps it up. Carson-Newman survives and outlasts LMU. The final score, it is Carson-Newman 2 and Lincoln Memorial 1. What a night at the yard. The Eagles come through, the defensive play of the season. Incredible work by the defense. Jenser on firing one to the plate. And the Eagles win it by a final score of 2-1. And they will get the number 1 ranked team in the country tomorrow at 11. Let's step out for a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Matt Bradley and Tom Griffin here on the SAC Digital Network.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You've got to see this place!
You gotta see this place. You got to see this place.
You got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta see this place. You gotta see this place.
You gotta see this place.
Carson-Newman takes down Lincoln Memorial by a 2-1 tally here at Smokies Stadium. What a day at the ballpark for the Eagles here in this one, and just two thrillers in the conference tournament for this contest as Carson-Newman advances to the double elimination bracket. We are now joined by Carson-Newman head coach Tom Griffin. Coach, we've had some fun games in this tournament. We've had some fun games throughout your tenure. Where does this one stack up with the emotions and the pitching and that defensive play right there at the end of the game?
Listen, that was just an unbelievable baseball game by both sides. Both pitchers, Queener and Bradley, were outstanding. The bullpens did their job. I mean, we were just fortunate enough to get one more hit. You know, balls were hit at people, defensive plays made on both sides. Both clubs, Haywood and his staff did a great job. They battled, and our guys battled. Just a great ball game, great ball game. But that play at the plate right there, that was huge right there. And you know, that's the thing I hope we don't, you know, you always worry, are they going to call him for blocking the plate off? That's a bunch of baloney. That should never be called, that Buster Posey thing. That's part of the game, you know, catch balls and be able to block something off. We lost that, but gosh, that was a great play.
Speak about your starting pitcher, Matt Bradley. He officially, despite giving up the run in the 8th, he goes 25 consecutive innings down the stretch of the season without allowing a run. What did you see out of him throwing a season-high 98 pitches?
Oh, I mean, I think the kid knew, like, this is it, right? In front of its home crowd here in a gorgeous venue and in a big game against a good school, a good program. I mean, it doesn't get any better for that young man. And, boy, he's been jacked up for it. He didn't throw very well against them when he was there. So, obviously, he wanted to throw well. He's got a lot of pride. He's done just a tremendous job this year. His slider, the bite in, his changeup. Tonight, his changeup was really good. And hey, Matt Parkinson did a phenomenal job calling that game. And so that's a combination right there, Bradley and Parkinson. But I'm so happy for our seniors, man, because we've had some tough luck. You know, they walked us off twice, and you're sitting there and hoping our guys ain't remembering it because the way they battled. But man, I'm proud of them, and I'm extremely happy for them.
You mentioned Matt Parkinson. Well, he had the at-bat that eventually won you the baseball game because he's down in an 0-2 hole in the 7th just after a double play ball. Battles back to 2-2, lines a ball into the outfield to win the ball game. What did you think of how your team performed at the plate?
Listen, the last month, you know, he got banged up in the beginning of March, and so he's been kind of banged up, and he's just starting to feel good. And the last couple weeks, he swung the bat really well, and good piece of hit and good pitch, got out in front. Hooked it in the 6th hole for the base hit with 2 strikes. Outstanding at bat. What a ball game. Good crowd. You know, we got a lot of kids that they played against each other in high school. We know them very well. Good people, and just a great ball game, man. And we get to enjoy it for a little bit, and then I don't even know, when do we play again? When
you play at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
11 a.m. Outstanding. Is that Eastern time?
That is Eastern time, yeah.
Outstanding. Can't wait for the opportunity to play, and we thank God for the opportunities we had here tonight and for this for going forward, brother.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Coach. Congrats. It's Carson-Newman coach Tom Griffin after the victory here as Carson-Newman outlasts LMU 2-1 in one of the games of this tournament. Just an unbelievable day of baseball. 7 unanswered runs by Catawba to win in walk-off fashion, and Carson-Newman gets the tying run thrown out at the plate in the bottom of the ninth to outlast LMU 2-1. We're now joined by Carson-Newman starting pitcher in this one, Matt Bradley. A dynamic performance in this one, Matt. In this game, you just battled through it. It was a pitcher's duel for a long time, tight matchup. What was your mindset out there on the rubber?
You know, it was the potential last time I could ever be out there, so I just want to leave it all out there. And, you know, I give God the glory. And Patrick Queener, he's a battler, man, and he's good. And, you know, tip of the cap to him. He's had a great year. But, you know, I just want to leave it all out there.
Let's go to the end of the game. I think you're somewhere down in the right field corner when that ball is hit to left field. What are the emotions going through your head as you see that ball get past Potts and then the relay throw to get the tying run at the plate?
That was unbelievable. I mean, career over, career not over. You know, Micah Jenner, you know, words can't describe it. But, you know, I walk around. I can't stay in one place at one time. I was nervous, but that was unreal. Park with the tag, that was unreal too.
You go 25 innings until the 8th inning without giving up a run here in the final month of the season. How do you want a game like this to set the tone for your team for this tournament?
Yeah, we just talked, you know, coming into the tournament, everyone's 0-0. I mean, there's a few teams, probably Wingate, Newberry, have automatic bids, but other than that, everyone has to win the tournament to keep playing, and, you know, we all have the same record. So really just our mindset is hopefully that'll spark us. I mean, a play like Micah made, that's enough to get a team on a run. I'm sure Griff's going to highlight that, and we'll come out tomorrow and see what Wingate's got.
Matt, thanks so much for the time. Congrats on the dazzling win.
Hey, thank you.
That's Matt Bradley. He speaks for Carson-Newman after a dynamic pitching performance. So we are set in the double elimination portion of the tournament. It is Wingate, the #1 ranked team in the country, and the reigning tournament champions at 11 a.m. against Carson-Newman tomorrow. Middle game will be 2nd-seeded Newberry and 5th-seeded Catawba. And then our nightcap at around 6:30. It'll be Queens and Lenore-Rye. Been a great day of baseball here, and we're just getting started. 3 straight days of triple headers coming your way tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. We'll talk to you again then. For our great crew here this evening, I'm Michael Watrank signing off. The final score once again, 7th-seeded Carson-Newman 2, 6th-seeded Lincoln Memorial 1. We'll talk to you again tomorrow morning. Carson-Newman and Wingate will start us off. Until then, good night, everybody.